Hi, everyone. So, first off, I fully intended to go live on the other channel at first. And then I was like, wait, there are a bunch of updates and things that I haven't done on Casually that I need to do as she drops her mic right onto the floor. So I thought I would come on over here and do that. And then, of course, we will get back to Marcus and the things that matter. But also, when I try to do the Randall voice, like my voice just died. So it's like, yeah, we can't do that. So I will wait for all of you to filter in. There is much to chat about. Gwenpool Strikes Back number 3 happened. What else happened? The Harley Quinn trailer happened. So many things happened. Hi. Hello, all. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Bonjour to you too. So, thank you. Love back from Canada. So, the biggest news and the big happy news is that the channel is finally monetized. So hooray, it's like Pinocchio, it's like, oh, I'm a real boy. So it's really exciting. So I'm like, sweet ads. I have super chats. I'm like, oh, I'm a real channel now. So it's great, like, because they more so than just that, they share your videos more. And that's really exciting because obviously you make videos because you want them to be seen by people. So hooray. Yes, thanks everyone. It's thanks to all of you watching all the way through to the end that we accrued the watch time that we needed so quickly. So thank you so much. You're dedicated comic lovers and shippers, and I really appreciate it from all of you. So, where should we start? Where should we start? So much has happened, and I've read so many things in the interim in the meantime. I read Gwenpool Strikes Back number 3. I've read Harleen. Oh yeah, the new DC timeline thing. Have you heard about it? The DC 5G timeline, which makes them think they're about to steal my phone. So it freaks me out every time I hear it. I'm like, oh right. They're trying to like compress all of DC's timeline into a set period of time, which stresses me out to know because, okay, I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea, but at the same time, I just hate whenever they tell you that this happened at this time in this place because I can just already see like the fandom imploding. I can see stories not matching up in the timeline. I can see all kinds of problems with it. They're like, this is the thing that is going to make all of the universe make sense. I'm like, no, it won't. You say that every single time that there's a crisis, and it never happens. Ever. I don't expect it to happen this time, but now I just feel like old man yells at cloud. That's how I feel. I'm like, no, I like things the way they used to be. Me. Oh, what? Oh, the puzzler. I was so happy when I got that comment by Will Day that was like, there is a puzzler. And I was like, oh man, let me go check him out. And I was like, I don't have regrets, but he's not what I expected. I think my favorite comment I got in that video was someone saying, next time the puzzler challenges Superman to a really intense game of Connect 4. I was like, yes, that would be amazing. I would watch that. What about the CW shows? What about them? I've watched a decent amount. Yes, right, Faye. Everything was better on Meyer. I can be that person. Oh, yeah, Django Battle. I'm playing my way through the first Arkham game. Believe it or not, I've never played it myself. Like, I know all the lore. I've been in the fandom for years. all of that jazz, but I never actually played it myself. So I'm going my way through. I'm the worst Batman. My husband can't even watch me. He's like, "Can I fight for you?" And I'm like, "No, let me pummel my way really awkwardly through all of these villains." He's like, "You can like throw that guy or do that." I'm like, "No, my Batman flails his arms wildly from scene to scene." That's how I'm making my way through Arkham. Clumsily and awkwardly. Okay, so the Birds of Prey trailer, aka Harley Quinn and Friends. How did we all feel about it? Because I have many thoughts and feelings, and most of them culminate in question mark. Oh, enjoy the legacies. I haven't played Spider-Man. I haven't played Spider-Man yet, and I really want to, but it's like all these games, it's like they announced the PlayStation 5, and I'm like, I'm not done with the PlayStation 4. I have many games that I have yet to complete. Don't do this to me. Why would you do this to me? Aw, thanks, Corn Lips. See, for me, I'm kind of salty because there have been a bunch of articles coming out now that are like Harley Quinn's new team, and I'm like, how dare you? The Birds of Prey stand on their own. They don't need a Harley. They really don't. Oh my god, PS3. The last game I finished on PS3 was Heavy Rain. I was like, I'm so late. I'm so late to press X to Jason. And I had all these like fun jokes. I'm like, I'm late to every meme, but I'm here. I'm here. Press X to Jason. It doesn't matter. I get to things when I get to things. Where's Barbara? We don't need Barbara because we have Harley. I'm so salty about the lack of Barbara. It's like, oh, one of the founding members of the team. Don't need her. We don't need her at all. Oh. Everybody needs Barbara. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the obsession continues. I have a real problem. I think I need an intervention. A bubble intervention. Have I seen Joker yet? No, I haven't. I haven't had time. I haven't had any time. Oh, I nearly sacrificed myself today for really sad convenience store soup, by the way. So I have this curse at work where whenever I try to get food, it goes horribly wrong. So I was like, I'm not ordering food today. I'm going to the store. I'm going to buy soup and I'm going to be safe. And I went to the store. I bought my sad soup and I was like, I'm going to save so much time. I'm going to open it on the way back to the office. So I'm walking and I'm opening my soup out of its little plastic and I throw it out of my hands. It just cartoons out of my hands onto the road in front of a car. But I didn't see the car because my brain was just like soup. And I went for it to get the soup. Grab my soup. I look up, there's a car just looking at me. So I just held it up and I went, I got it. And he was like, yeah, you did. And then I went back into my building and I was like, oh, I'm too embarrassing. I've just embraced it at this point. I'm like, oh, I'm just a really embarrassing person, and that's really okay. I'm all right with it. Oh, Christina, we are celebrating monetization. And thank you so much, Shinigami Tactical. I appreciate that. I have a couple of really long videos coming up that neither was supposed to be long. Gwenpool number 3 wasn't supposed to be like this. And then I read it and there was one panel and there were so many inaccuracies on one page that I think I got like a whole page and a half of scripting. I think it's probably more out of just what was wrong with the information presented on that one page. I'll give you a sneak peek. It has a spread of characters created as eye candy. And one of the characters there is Jessica Jones. So Yeah, Jessica Jones, who appeared in her adult Alias series, which was about her recovery from, her kidnapping by the Purple Man and the coma after and her alcoholism and her life, but, created for eye candy. So, yeah, I have lots of thoughts and feelings about that. There's a lot. There's a lot going on there. And I was just like, oh dear. And then I read Harleen, which was okay. You know how some people say when they like something that they can't talk about it? I'm the opposite. So I really liked Harleen and I'm excited to talk with something that I liked. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna tell the people all about Harleen. I'm just gonna be that person who walks out of a movie and is really excited about it and be like, okay, guys, you won't believe what just happened. Oh. Yeah, no, there was out of the panel of people created to be eye candy. Firstly, none of them actually, but you could only make the argument really for two. It was rough. It was same with the next row of people, which was characters only young people get and old people are confused by. That was really awkward. Some of them were characters who were created like 30 years ago, and they were like, nobody but the youths. And I was like, Squirrel Girl was created a long time ago. Oh. Which two? Okay, let me remember this panel. I blocked from my mind. And the thing is, not even because created to be implies the statement like someone sat down and was like, okay, guys, do you like cheesecake? Can I be in a meeting like that? Was Cyclops one of them? Oh, did you have a childhood crush on Cyclops too? Which version? Share with me. Oh, McReese, hi. We are celebrating monetization on the channel. Hooray. So I've actually noticed that there are some people who are now like, I found you in the sidebar. And I was like, oh, I'm in the sidebar. Yeah, I'm Captain America tonight. It's a Captain America kind of night. I think. I don't know. I don't know what kind of night it is. So what else have I read? There's a bunch on my to read list. Oh, okay, so they are running 2 Joker Harley comics at the same time. So I need to start reading the other one. And I'm like, am I iced out Cap? Oh, only Cap on ice. Only really tweaked out Cap. I feel like with how much I jump around, that's what people will just assume is happening or already assume happens. Oh, you have a 12-inch Cyclops action figure? That's so cool. Oh, Council of Geeks. Yes, I have. I have heard about 5G and I have a lot of concerns. I don't like them making me give up my sliding time scale. I don't know. I feel like there's a suspension of disbelief that we all just tacitly agree to without having to say it, that we acknowledge that the things taking place could not possibly take place within any kind of conceivable realistic time span, especially because sometimes in the comics they'll even say things like, I was here for a year. So it's like, well, if I have to follow a realistic time scale now, then no. But they've already said that their plan is to make the characters older. But then they also followed up with that means we've been writing some of them incorrectly. Like Wonder Woman is from World War II. So we've been writing her incorrectly. We need to put her more in character. Superman is 60 years old. And we're going to acknowledge that. And I'm like, yeah, but Superman also ages super slow. And why do we need this? That's my thing. I'm just kind of like, why do we need this? I mean, Batman, based on like the amount of Robins and stuff he's had, should be like 45, but I don't want to, but then also he couldn't realistically be doing the things that he, so it's like it's forcing you, I think, into a level of realism that you don't need to be forced into. And I don't think it's gonna clean. That's not what I think people were confused about. Let me put it that way. Like, they're like, we're gonna clean up the confusion of the universe and the timelines, and we're gonna fix all of the things, and it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better now. But I don't think that those are the things that people had a problem with. The problems with continuity aren't because I don't know how old Dick Grayson is. Or sorry, Rick Grayson. Oh, just like, that's the problem, is the constant continuity changes and retcons and lack of cohesion between storylines. And you're not going to fix that by telling me that Superman's 60 and then also by replacing them with, they said they're going to replace them with new characters, but not legacy versions who already exist. So they're like, we want Superman to be 60. And like they said, the first one, I heard rumors that the first one they're going to replace is Wonder Woman, but they're like, we want to replace Wonder Woman, but potentially not with either Wonder Girl, so not with Donna and not with Cassandra, but with someone entirely new and hip. Like, I'm so scared. I'm just going to be an old lady yelling at people to get off my lawn. That's what's going to happen. Back in my day, Superman was anywhere between the ages of 25 and 65. Oh. I had to scroll back up. You see, it's already, for me, it's already causing confusion. I'm so glad I can talk about it here, because people at my work, like, it's fine. What do you care? Like, it's, they do this every few years. And I'm like, I know. Care with me. Someone care. And then meanwhile, over at Marvel, you just have them throwing everything they can at the wall. They're like, did you like 2099? What if we made every single character 2099 and relaunched every single issue at #1, and you had to buy them all, and also there were 20 variant covers that you should also buy? So they're just being really aggressive. Like, DC's like pulling back, and they're just like, but what if we threw you everything? Do you like Annihilation? Do you remember that? Here you go, every single one. Oh. I will keep going with Deceased. I will finish the things. It just does. I just do. I work on my own timeline. I have my own timeline. Maybe I should set up a DC, the 6G timeline. Oh. Let me catch up with the chat and not turn this into an ASMR video. I really liked House and Powers of X. I did. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was really cool. Crinkle, crinkle. I did, and I'm interested to see how that plays in with everything. It was interesting, and it went for it. And I love when people are willing to go for it. Hickman's always like willing to just go for it, and it was such an interesting way to take them that I was like, yes. It's been so long since the X-Men have been able to shine and do their thing after being sidelined for so many years, because we're not gonna make movies with them, so whatever. But like, just go for it like that. I really appreciated it. I don't know. Council of Geeks, to me personally, I find DC a funner mess, but that's just me. It's all personal preference. I enjoy everything. There are a bunch of indies too that I need to get to, you guys, like Lady Mechanica. I'm just sitting here like, when's the right time to talk about Lady Mechanica? When's the right time to introduce them to the steampunk, this awesome steampunk world, which is I really like it. There are a couple, and of course it's Halloween, but I never subscribe to seasons, but I'm like, it would be a good time to talk about Hellraiser comics as well. I really enjoy Hellraiser comics. I think they're really cool. I like horror comics a lot. I approve. It is always the right time for steampunk. I was looking at Lady Spider again today, the steampunk Spider-Man. I was just like, oh, it's so good. I love it. What flavor of bubble tea? I will take all the teas, but roasted milk is my current favorite. It's the current favorite one I have. I'm also really into like bizarre crossover comics and tie-in. Like, I just want to sit there and tell you all about like the random crossovers and like, listen, so Batman the Punisher is actually a really good comic, and you all need to read it. You just all need to read it right now. Oh, I like The Wicked and the Divine. I do like that one. I like Saga a lot as well. I really enjoyed Saga. There's a whole bunch. I can't with Ultimatum. It's like everybody do you and love what you love. But for me, Ultimate, I can't. Ice Cream Man gets to me on like a really visceral level. Like sometimes I can't even read it sometimes. Like it just makes me really physically uncomfortable with the way some of the stuff is drawn. I'm just like, this is a lot of a lot. You know, when something just makes your skin crawl, it's it's working. So it's doing its job because it's very hard for me to get through. So if you like that kind of horror, then that's something to definitely think about checking out. Oh, Hellblazer. My all-time favorite comic. Oh, that's really hard. That's really hard. I have so many that I like, and some of the ones I like, I feel so basic for liking them because I'm like, oh yeah, and then like you pull up a list of the classics. I'm like, oh, I like that one, and I like that one, and I also like that one. I have a bunch of favorites. I think one of my favorite singles is the one for The Man Who Has Everything, where Superman has like the plant that's trapped on him and he's seeing the alternate version of a life that he wishes he had. And that's a really good issue. Oh, have a good sleep. No, I mean, I love Watchmen. I really do. So that's up there for me. I've read it so many times. I'll just pull it down and read it. Yeah, tell me some of your favorites. Tell me some of yours. I want to hear. I I don't no, I don't have any theories really. Mm. Oh, Sandman's great. I love Sandman. I remember when Sandman was like the thing you read when you were a goth girl, and I was like, well, then goth me up because I really like it. I have read Kingdom Come. I like Kingdom Come a lot. I really like the Jeff Lemire run of Moon Knight a lot too. That's really good. It's a lot of I was about to say fun, but fun's not the right word. There are different types of fun. There is just observing fun. I like Superior a lot too. The early Batwoman run before they canceled her wedding and had her break up with her girlfriend via note. Oh, that was rough. Do you like any DC Black Label books? Some of them, yeah. And I mean, like from before they were Black Label too. Now they're gonna roll them in and just pretend they were always Black Label. But yeah, I have no problem with adult content in anything at all. It's just if it's gonna be there, you need to do something with it. It can't just be like, this is adult because there's a penis. Look, it's Batman's penis. It's so adult. Woo. 18 plus. It needs, I think honestly you can have something adult that doesn't have any, that it doesn't even have to have drugs or swearing or sex, but just thematically something can be really, really powerful without needing that, you know? That's just me though. On like that whole era, it's still going on too, of just no happiness, because if she got married, she wouldn't fight crime. None of them would fight crime if they got married. Cause yeah, that's a thing that would happen. I really like the first half of Irredeemable Mario, but the second half, how they resolve it, kind of fell flat to me. But the build up to that point is amazing. It's a fantastic deconstruction. Oh, of course. Oh, I know, Valerie. The instant I got married, I just stopped being interesting in any capacity, and all things stopped happening to me, and I stopped being helpful or useful in any way. So, can confirm. It's just so ludicrous. Oh, and I mean, it got even worse after I became a parent. I mean, I'm essentially just a human couch. I gotta catch up on the chat. Oh, is that Deathstroke cartoon real? I haven't taken the time to look into it and figure it out. I know it could. Oh, Storm T'Challa. There's just like, no, you can't have that. You can't have nice things. You can have Sue and Reed. Oh. Yeah, answer that too. Like, what's a storyline that, like, I like that I'm one of those neck pillows you see people wear on airplanes. Oh, what's a comic that's moved you? Because sometimes I'm moved, like, to different feelings, happiness, rage, sadness. I'll accept any and all feelings. All feelings welcome here. Cause what's one for me, the Harleen one, I was just really pleased to see someone really get her whole character like that. And it was in a world where she is sometimes so one note, it was just really, really refreshing. The Boys is a lot of a lot. I mean, I like The Boys, but it is a lot. And the mother's milk basement scene, I will never be the same again. I'm not okay. The Boys made me feel a lot of things. I actually do enjoy a lot of the changes they made for the adaptation. I like them both, but I think some of the adaptation changes they made were very, very smart. I've heard really good things about the Over the Garden Wall. I've heard really good things about it. Oh yeah, the Jessica Cruz issue is really good. No, I love seeing what all of you are reading, because there are so many things out there. It feels sometimes like, like you're in a lull, and then all of a sudden everything comes out all at once, and it's a lot. Oh, okay. Do any of you read Solicitations? Like checking out what's coming up next? I do. I shouldn't, because I always have strong thoughts and feelings about it after, but I look at the solicitations and then I get all up in my feelings, even though it hasn't happened yet. So it could be amazing. The Doctor Strange solicitation I saw for December just made me want to flip a table. It made me so mad. It was like, Doctor Strange has got the use of his hands back. Can he be a surgeon and a sorcerer supreme at the same time? And I was so salty. I was like, oh, are Batman's parents alive? And Spider-Man's uncle is alive too. And just, they're all going to go to lunch together, a lunch cooked for them by Dr. Stephen Strange. I was just so mad. Oh. Is Clark's entire planet alive? Is every single Kryptonian alive? Oh. Oh, I love Berserk. I love Berserk a lot. And unpopular opinion, the anime adaptation they did, the first one, not these new movies, where it ends right at the horrifying, like the horrifying, where they, after they rescue Griffith and he activates the locket and all like the hell realm and he gives himself to the, oh, I think that ending's great. Like, I know that it just completely ends on a cliffhanger and never continues, but that I love that. I love that anime, even though it's incomplete. I think it's amazing. I think it's so good. Ah, the eclipse. The eclipse is amazing. Okay. Yeah, I really like old horror comics. I do. I couldn't read them when I was a kid. They freaked me out too much. All of the imagery and the images, it was too much for me. I would have to even with just scary books, because I read a lot of scary books, not Goosebumps, but the just other random ones, and I would have to put them face down on the floor because the covers were too scary for me. I was like, "Oh, I can't look at this, too scary." So I had this mission with myself to work my way up to being able to handle any and all types of horror material. That was the goal. I'm kind of sort of there. Oh, I do like a lot of the what-ifs. A lot of the what-ifs are really fun. What-ifs, Elseworlds, all of those kind of things. The only thing is that with Elseworlds and what-ifs, sometimes certain concepts get kind of overdone. Oh, thanks so much, Dwayne. Like, especially when a character is popular. Oh, I should do that. What if someone else had been bitten by the radioactive spider? Just because it has the worst Spider Girl costume I've ever seen for Betty. It's terrible. It's so bad. It makes me so angry every time I see it. Know how to verify. Oh, a Serbian film is so terrible. Like, not only the content, but, like, everything about it. Like, the acting, the concept, just why? Why? It is one of those like, I watched all of it, and I was like, "Why? Who wanted this?" I know that that's the point, but it was just sometimes a work just feels ugly, like, it just feels like it was made from a place of meanness or ugliness or wanting to be gross, and that was one of those. I can't nope out of things, Jesse. Like, I'm too committed. I'm like, "I won't let this beat me. I will not be beaten," and then I finish everything, and I always have so many regrets, and I'm just like, I'm never getting that time back, but I have self-vindication. Oh, I don't even know how to describe a Serbian film. I don't wanna lose my monetization. I just got it. They're gonna be like, knock, 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 YouTube police." Was somebody talking about a Serbian film? Like, just get dragged off with a big white hook. Like, it's time to go. Ma'am, it's time to go. You know it's bad when they ma'am you. It's like, ma'am, you need to stop talking about a Serbian film. Oh. Human Centipede made me laugh because of some of the acting in it. Harley X Joker. Would you like some water? Oh, yes, this isn't sketch at all. Did you know there's a third one? I just learned that the other day. There's a third one. Okay, so 3. There's this prison, and it has an overpopulation problem. So their solution is to make the biggest human centipede they can. There's this, I wish I could show you, but I'm not hooked up for it. There's this great skill of the warden holding up his plan, and he's drawn it like they're people that he's drawn, and he's holding it up. He's look at his face like, yeah, this is the solution. This is the solution that we needed. It made me laugh. Lots of things make me laugh. Too many things. No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. This is why. Oh, have any of you watched Batwoman yet? I haven't. I'm so behind. I'm behind on all the things. Haven't watched that. I'm not up to date on, well, I have to wait on Titans because I have to wait for it to come up here because we don't have DC Universe in Canada. So we just have to wait. It's actually why I'm excited that Disney Plus is launching on the same day. I'm like, oh, they remembered us. They remembered that we're a place that they can also launch things. Oh. Kraken experiment, I saw that they revealed that, and I was like, that's really early because I think that that's like that twist is really cool, and I really enjoyed it in the comic books. I was like, that's pretty early to drop that. Like that could be like that could be a really cool, build up if you do it properly, but that's okay. I really like Alice and how they did that. Yeah, Nancy Drew is getting a CW series. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see it, and see what I think. The CW shows are hit or miss for me. Like, most of them I can enjoy, but they're definitely in their own universe and their own realm. Yes, okay, so that is a real thing. That is happening, the Deathstroke series, because it looked really cool. I've heard that Deathstroke's comic is really good right now. I haven't been reading it. I just like saying his name. Slade Wilson. I love the explanations for why we're celebrating. We're celebrating life. But yes, we are celebrating that. I like how you say that, Ariel, though. It sounds like I found like a toonie on the street. I'm like, yeah, $2. Yeah, I gotta go home and live stream. Like, guys, I found 10 cents on the street. Like, hold on. Well, I mean, I did tell you a story about how I dropped soup. So, in all fairness, it's not entirely inaccurate for what we could be talking about. Ola. That's right. To life. Laheim. Why do you hate Deadpool? Share. All feelings are welcome here. Popular and unpopular. I have so many unpopular opinions. I need to be stopped. I don't think that's wrong. I had a lot of crushes on a lot of people, and they continued on. It took me years to figure out what was going on. I was like, why do I was like, oh, because they're like the same actor, the same voice actor, and like that was it. Okay. Embarrassing embarrassing crushes that we had on cartoon characters. I mean, aside from Aladdin's dad, I mean, forget Aladdin's dad, but Kasim, the Riddler. Oh God, the Riddler from the 90s animated series. Send help. Send all the help. So now, share yours. I shared. This is a safe space. Oh, it's all fine. And then it followed me. Okay, but you don't understand. It followed me to Smallville, where I was like, Lex's dad. And then I was like, oh, they're the same. Oh my God. Send all the help. So I need it. It's probably too late. It's probably way too late. Oh, OG Shira. Just everybody on OG Shira, to be honest. I haven't seen that Tumblr post. That sounds like a lot of fun. I would buy that. The Riddler would have a great YouTube channel. I would subscribe to. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I would just ghost it. Maybe I would watch his channel every day but never subscribe because I wouldn't want to admit that I was subscribed to the Riddler. I do that to a couple of channels. I'm like, I don't know why I do this. Like, I could just hit the button. Every now and again, YouTube is like, you can, there's a button. And I'm like, I know. Don't make me do that. You can't tell me what to do. I'm not my real dad. You're not my real dad. Mm. Oh, Linda Carter? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've watched Space Ghost and Harvey Birdman. Not enough people have seen Harvey Birdman. And so I always... Claudia Black. Oh my God. She is just amazing. Everything she does, I love her. So, no, but not enough people know Harvey Birdman. So I always want to make this joke. Did you get that thing I sent you? But nobody gets it. And they think I'm genuinely asking them a question. And then they're like, what thing? And I'm like, oh, now it's awkward. And I have to pretend there was a real thing that, yeah, send it to me, Faye. Let me see. Yeah, did you get that thing that I sent you? For all the two people who appreciated that joke, you're welcome. Someone, are you going to be the puzzler for how? But I mean, I don't have to do anything to be the puzzler because I can just wear my normal clothes and then not even commit any puzzle themed crimes and just attack a completely unrelated to anything event. So yeah, I'm going to be the puzzler. Okay. Remember last time we were talking about wig life? I did it. Just so you know, I have one. It's real. And it's going to be debuting once I get the lace front off. So, yes, the Quizler. Somebody asked in that video if I'm going to talk about the Riddler's henchman. Quiz and Query and Echo. Probably. Okay, I have a Riddler headcanon. It'll probably come up in a video at some point too. I always have a headcanon that he was asexual, not necessarily aromantic, but asexual. I don't know why. It was just like, I'm really attached to this headcanon. That's right. Wig life. It's happening. It's real and it's here. Okay. I read a great fic once where it was like he was in like this queer platonic relationship with Batman, and I was just reading it and I was like, this is all the things I didn't know I needed in my life, but it's great. And it was also the canon of the Arkham games, so that was really cool too. And it dealt with the events going through. It's like, this is good. I will find it. I will find it. I saved it to my phone, which means that it's now lost forever because I save everything to my phone. But I will find it and I'll wreck it over on the other channel because I have a Batman video coming up over there. So I'm like, that's the perfect place. I can drop it down there too. And just be like, oh, by the way, also, because I don't know why. I'm just like, my channels are interconnected, even though they're not, but they are. So it's fine. Yeah. Whew. No, I've actually been reading a lot of good fics lately, but they're not in any popular fandoms. That's the thing. I'm like, why? I'm so stuck in my ways reading like my old fandoms and the people, like kids are like, Riverdale launches tonight. And by the kids, I mean the other people I work with. So not the kids at all. But I'm just like, oh, I got the opportunity to ask somebody how old they thought I was. And I was like, yeah, because you know, you never get the chance to ask somebody that before they know. So I was like, yes, I can find out what the people think. But then it's always a loaded question. They're staring at you, like trying to decide, like, what is the proper number that won't cause offense or anger. I miss doing Fic Rec Friday too, but now that I'm back to working full time, I just can't. I can't. There are too many things. Of Batman's female villains, which would you keep as a Poison Ivy? I don't even need to finish it. Which would I keep as a villain? Poison Ivy, 100%. Poison. No. Yeah, her. All the way. I know that you can make an argument for the character development, the green stuff that's happening, but no. Let me have this. Oh yeah, Talia for sure too. I don't you can tweak Harley to the other side. I firmly believe that and like I've seen it done, but also people then tend to just like ignore or forget all the really terrible things that she did on her own that aren't attached to the Joker because there are a ton. And they're just like, "Oh, that was him." And I'm like, "She broke up with him in 2002. All of this stuff happened after." Oh. Oh, I love Bat Dad fics. They're so fun. The comics do okay, my friend and I were talking about this at work. We're like, the comics really do need to decide whether Batman's a good or bad dad because like you can read one comic and he's backhanding Jason across the face and you can read another and he's like, it's movie night, call everybody over, and they'll be released like the same week and you're like, okay, so which is it? It's both. And yes, I meant Jason. I know he's also backhanded Tim and Dick. Sorry, Rick. But I mean, he backhanded him while he was Dick. So, okay, that panel of Rick standing there with the pool cue behind his back with his chest hair on display. Oh, like, I'm sorry if it makes you uncomfortable. This is my life. I want it as a poster, but no one would get it except for me. I haven't seen any of the new Charmed McReese. I'm so scared. Like I don't love the old Charmed, but I have a soft spot for it. I watched all of it and I just have like this nostalgic fondness. I'm like, I can acknowledge that it wasn't perfect by any sense of the means, but I had fun with it. So I am scared. I'm scared. I'm scared to look at it. Oh, you need to see the panel when we talk about Rick, which we will. Oh, that panel is just, she comes, she's like, "Are you okay? Like, what's happening with your life?" And he's there playing pool in like a bar and just everything. No, I didn't see the link. I saw no link. I am linkless. because I need this Riddler YouTuber Tumblr in my life. Tumblr slowed down. So Tumblr, yeah, copy and paste it. I can grab it if you do that. Like Tumblr slowed down so much since the purge, but I'm still there. I've been on Tumblr for such a long time lurking, and I've seen it through so many phases that if it is to die, I want to be there with it. It shouldn't be alone, like livestream. No one should be alone. Oh. Oh. Oh yeah, I had this open. I had a thing open and I was looking for stuff. Oh yeah, I kept reading that Invisible Woman comic. I haven't talked about it, but I did keep reading it. And oh, the Batman's Grave came out today. I need to read that. Oh. Oh, and the Doctor Doom comic came out today. Okay, get this. Doomsday Clock released a trade, even though it still isn't done, and it's been like 3 years, and they're releasing a trade of the first half. And then once it's done, they'll do the 3 Jokers, because they've been waiting to do that till after this finishes for years. Have they come for her, McReese, or has it managed to stay up? There's one issue of Doomsday Clock that I really, really, really like, and the rest of it I didn't need to happen. It's issue 10. Issue 10 I really loved, but the rest of it I was just like, this is a thing. They come and choose Twitter. It is, but I mean, everything's irrelevant to continuity now because 5G. I can't wait for them to upgrade my phone and also jack up my timeline. Let me see. What else came out today? Oh, it's the Joker's Year of the Villain Day. I need to read that too. God, I have to read so many things. It's oh, don't bait me with a Super Sons Return cover. Oh, the Secrets of the Sinister House started today too. The horror DC comic they're doing. That's so exciting. Oh yeah, that Contagion thing is still happening. Totally not zombies, guys. It's totally not. It's something completely different. How dare you? What's wrong with you? So many comics, so little time. That is the truth. Or Teen Lantern becomes Green Lantern. I can't with Teen Lantern, you know? Although it is a very little kid thing to call yourself, like, I have the power that is powerful power ring. I can call myself anything I want. I'm the Teen Lantern. I just feel like here's my worry for these 5G characters. If they truly are characters who are unestablished, I'm worried that they're gonna drop them, and then people are gonna be like, "Whose man's is this?" And they're not gonna buy them because the base for new people entering comics is sadly not that big. And I don't know why they keep talking it up. Like there's just this horde of people banging on the walls to like get at these things because they're not. And so potentially they won't be read. And then I can see the whole like hate. Why is there so much hate? It's like, well, people only have so much money or time, and they're already invested in the lore of these people who already exist. It's a hard sell when you have people who people know versus new untested people. So it's always really impressive when a new person breaks into the mythos. So it's like, build those people up. Don't just be like, well, here's yet another new person. Oh my god, Marvel, all new, all different. All new, all the same. All right, link me up on Twitter. Sideways, that movie about wine, because that's all I think about when I hear that. Yeah, Marvel now, except then it will become Marvel then. Oh, Martian Manhunter is great. You don't need any help. You're fine. You're absolutely fine. I went through like a phase where, okay, I'm not going to tell you now. No, we don't know each other like that. Oh, well, some of us do. But this is a new channel. That's right. All new, all different. Marvel now, Ultimate. Yeah, like there's a delicate balance to be struck with, introducing new people. And I find that so many times there's just like a barreling through approach of like, screw those people who are angry, they don't matter at all, or like only listen to the people who are angry because they are the only ones who matter. And it's like the balance is hard to find. It's genuinely hard to find. Which X-Man? Wolverine. I'm calling Wolverine. Just because Cyclops has done it too many times already. Let it be someone else. Someone else needs a turn. Someone else needs a turn to mess up. Yeah, I'm not sure. I agree. Like, I'm really big on legacy. Like, when I did that video on this channel about the meeting of the two Flashes, that was something that I do genuinely like about it. There's a respect between the two of them, and it goes both ways. It's, wow, you were the Flash, and that's so amazing, and I'm so inspired, but also like, you're the new Flash, and I respect that, and I think that you're pretty cool too. And it just makes it such a fun read because you're like, yay, it gives you space to be like, oh, so I can like both, and that's really cool. Yay. Heroes dating in the office. I think so. I think so. Like, I think there is a way to better manage. I'm a really big fandom person, and I know that fans can go too far, but I'm always a big fandom person, and like into maintaining fandom spaces and into helping fans have those outlets and spaces and stuff to talk about it. And there is a power differential between creators and fans, and it can be quite big, even if the separation between being able to communicate them with them has gotten smaller and smaller. So when they come from the top down and yell at you, even though on an individual level, obviously, if a group of people get together and yell at a creator, like, that's terrible too. But when they come down from an institutionalized level like that and yell at you from that position of power, it creates this wave of toxicity that has such a different feeling to it, because in a way it becomes sanctioned. Whereas when it comes up from fans, there's an acknowledgement that that's wrong and you've gone too far and step it back. But when they turn around and do it back, it kind of comes across as, oh, so this is okay. This is how we should be acting, and this is entirely appropriate. So there is, I think, a much better level that can be struck for both groups of people. Like, to also acknowledge that if you are a fan, you like, I'm gonna go yell at this creator's wife. And it's like, well, people sadly tend to judge the actions of a whole group by like a couple of people. So it's like there's always time to like reflect on what you're doing. Everybody should just take a minute and go for a walk around the block before they say anything. Like, nobody should say nobody talking. Everybody sipping on some bubble tea and waiting. Everybody waiting before they say anything. Because it's so reactive. It's so reactive so often when it really doesn't need to be. And then half the times you go back and you're like, what were we yelling about, and you go look and you're like, oh, well, now this is just really embarrassing for everybody. So now it's just awful. And at the end of the day, sometimes it leaves your fandom and also your workspace, to be honest, like just a place where you don't want to be, like who wants to be in a place where like everybody's yelling at everybody all the time? Like nobody. No, unless you really, really, really enjoy conflict. I'm really fascinated that that's a class, Christina. I think it's that time again where I have to admit that my drink is dead. But I'm not ready to yet. You're going to have to listen to it. Quality content. It's like, oh yes, this is why I subscribed. I subscribed to listen to the tones of bubble tea and a chair that squeaks. Yes. It's like, I regret nothing. Romance. No, stop adding sound effects. Earl McReese, that would be so fun. That would be so genuinely fun. Well, I hope they do a nuanced job teaching it, because fandoms are a very nuanced and intriguing topic. And I find a lot of times there's a very reductionist view of this, which boils it down to like, well, this group was wrong and this group was right. And it's like, well, I could say that about a lot of things, but lots of I just went like full Morty from Rick and Morty there. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. There's so much more nuance, Rick. That's like my word of the day, my favorite word, always, all the time. It's the name of the game. Fun times. Fun times at Shippers High. There we go. I was gonna say casually high. Oh, people, we need to catch up Muhammad. Yay, congrats. That'll be so good. Oh, I loved doing my Zutara video. That was so fun. Ooh, what's Shadow's house about? Tell me about it. I like manga. Should trigger some people. I like manga. No, I love all these groups, and it's why I keep doing live chats and stuff, because they're really fun. It's a good chance to catch up, to touch base, to talk about things that really probably won't get their own video or something like that. But also just as like a physical living example of that, you can still talk about these things, because sometimes there are people who are like, they're so afraid and they're like, hey guys, I didn't like this. And it's like, this huge, like giant, or like, guys, I really liked it. And it's because they're so afraid that people are going to use it as some kind of barometer or litmus test of if they're a true fan or if they're a good person. It's like, you shouldn't have to be walking on eggshells like that, It's just too stress, too much stress. No one should be, I was about to say no one should be pressed like that. But, I learned new hip slang. I learned 2 new slangs today. 2 slangs. I learned 2 new slangs and I feel so hip. I am ready to use my new slang in conversation, because even though I hate it in like media and things, I am ready to be embarrassing and use them myself. So I learned zaddy. So that's a new daddy, like hip for the Zoomer daddy. And I learned drip. So I found a meme that taught me all about drip, so I'm really excited about that. Um, it was a Drake meme, and it was started from the bottom. So it was Drake, and he's like, "How could I start from the bottom when my drip's so top?" And I was like, "Well, now I understand everything." And then someone at my work said that their drip was icy, so I am now, I'm up to date. I'm ready for the world. Yes. Once I get to use the word drip, I'll be very, very happy and pleased with myself. I'll see the soonest I can work it into a video, the better. I can feel so many of you like internally cringing. That's right, Gwenpool. You think because you can floss, are you ready to call somebody a zaddy? You called Reed a daddy. Perfect opportunity to have called him a zaddy. You're not hip or cool. I'm those. No, I'm not. I'm so lame. Oh, my drip done dried out. My drip is hip. There we go. Ooh. Oh, it's so embarrassing. Oh. I do like the 5th cover of her book because it's a cosplayer, and I'm like, "Oh, I hope that's relevant and they address her cosplay roots because that would be so cool." But I don't think it's going to. So okay, another spoiler for 3 is it's still just as incohesive as ever. So we're 3 issues in of a 5-issue miniseries, and it hasn't come together in terms of like theme or like a cohesive overall plot. So there's that also. Oh, Gwenpool 2099. She'll have the drip. Oh. Oh my gosh, the Numa Numa song. That's a classic. That takes me back to Newgrounds. That's up there with the Badger song. And they're taking the hobbits to Isengard, another classic. Mm. I should make a character, but they're just really out of date. Oh, someone came up with the best villain name on the Puzzler video, the Vaudevillain, and I just appreciated it so much. I was like, dang, that's good. That's very good. It's like that one villain who exists in Marvel, Turner D Century, but good, you know, because Turner D Century is really embarrassing and he bikes around with a mannequin on the back, and I don't get it. So I know, right? I thumbed up that comment as soon as I saw it. I was like, the VOD villain. That's good. Quality content. Oh. Yes, it was you. What types of fics have you been reading? Okay, so I've been on like a Batman binge lately. Just all kinds of different Bat pairings because I'm a multi-shipper, so I ship multiple things. So I'm never involved. Well, I'm never directly involved in any ship wars because I love all the things. So I've just been going through all the different random obscure Batman pairings. I'm playing the Arkham game, so it's a lot of it's Arkham game based. Oh, what's your favorite Studio Ghibli movie? Okay, Whisper from the Heart. I know that's a really random choice, but it's mine. How random does it get here? It's getting pretty random. It's pretty random. I'm still on the hunt for a good Hal. Okay. Dinah Lance, Dina Lance. I don't know. They can say it as many times as they want. I will always forget. It is one of those names for me. It is just one of those names for me. Do you have any names like that where no matter the person can tell you a million times and you're just like, uh-huh, and so you just stop calling them by their name ever because you don't want to deal with that at all? Some people, okay, this is a funny one. So some people tell me that I pronounce my own name wrong. That's always a fun one. Yeah, Lisa's one because it could be Liza, even if it's not spelled that way. And then they tell me how I should be pronouncing my name. Yeah, what was one comment I got? I was like, I love how this girl can't pronounce her own name. And I was like, oh no, I've been saying it wrong for years. Whatever shall I do? I'll have to reevaluate everything. Oh. No, some of the comments make me laugh. And I reply to some of them, and like some people are really nice and you have a good back and forth, and some people are mean and you're like, okay, well, at the end of the day, you'll still be mean and I'll still be happy. So whatever. It's fine. Is there a different way to say Craig? How do you say Craig? Am I being really Canadian right now? Craig. It's like Greg but with with a CR. Craig. Craig? No, man, it's Craig. Well, Craig better sit down 'cause Oh. I've never heard Craig ever in my life. I guess that's because 'cause I'm Canadian. I've only ever heard Craig. I've never heard it the other way. Well, now I can say I've heard it both ways. I can live psych in my life. Yeah, okay, so my name is Sasha, but I think some people say Sasha, like they posh it up. I don't know why. Like Sasha. And I'm like, no, I'm Sasha. Like, I'm not gonna pretend. Sasha, that's me. Like I'm some pumpkin spice latte. Some people, but people call me both ways. Like whatever way is comfortable for them to pronounce. I don't care. It's fine. Like I know you're talking to me. But I'm also one of those weird people who if I get called the wrong name, will just go with it because it doesn't bother me if I know the person's not being mean. So I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. Like you mean me and I can tell you're not trying to be a jerk, so I will go with it. It's also always interesting to see what people assume your name is. Sadly, it never goes beyond Sarah for me. And I'm like, oh man, I want it to be something really random one day. Like someone just comes up and is like Dominique. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be Dominique. I don't know why that's the name I thought of. But now that I think about it, I feel like I could be Dominique. What do you think? I approve this name change. The puzzler, Dominique. Her real name is Dominique. Identity crisis. I was talking about identity crisis today. I was trying to type it to somebody. But what about Shauna? Okay, so if I'm Sasha, but I pronounce it Shauna, and some people call me Sasha, should I be Shayna? Oh. Yeah, I've met both spellings of Sasha's too, but like I've never noticed a difference in the pronunciation because of it. Some people with the C they say Sacha. Shanna? Shanna. Harvard. There we go. It can be like Harley Quinn. Now it went southern. God, every time I think I have the Boston accent, it eludes me. And I just go someplace I can do, like Minnesota. Oh, hey there, bud. Because it's really close to like stereotypical Canadian, so I can do it. Sasuke. Yeah, they are. No, they're hard. All accents are hard for me. But oh my gosh, that would be amazing if Bruce had a Jersey accent. I need that to be a thing. Ooh, I need that to be a thing. Shayna. It's too late. I'm Dominique now. It's all over. I do, because it's the first part of my name, Sasha. And then people call me they call me Sasha because my name is already an abbreviation for another name. So there's no reason to abbreviate it even further. Although I wanted to go by my middle name for years, but then I was too lazy. So the real Playboy billionaires in New Jersey, and it's him fighting with Oliver Queen. Yes, that's what I need in my life. Crossover episode with Tony Stark. We'll just set it in the universe where the DC and Marvel universes coexist with no explanation, and we'll just do it. We'll just go for it, and we'll never explain anything. Greenlit. Let's do it. Everybody at my work can do a Russian accent but me, and I'm really sad. I am legit listening to tapes to try and learn how to do it. I can't roll an R to save my life, though. Ooh, yes, definitely. Ted Cord, always on the outside, never fully in. Yeah, Bruce's kids they're like perpetually embarrassed. I just want like Dick Grayson to be like Jim from The Office and just you're just perpetually panning to his face and he just looks so like horrified or embarrassed or disappointed the entire time. I need that in my life. Ooh, and then he can have an edgy makeover. It can be like his dark teen phase, like his dark teen phase where he becomes Rick. That would be great. Mm. Oh, Sasha? Oh, Sasha is short for Alexandra. I love how I say Sasha, not Sasha, but I say Alexandra, not Alexandra. I'm not committed to anything. Yeah, it's actually short for Alexandrovich, but Alexandra, yeah. Yeah, and then if you're a dude, then it's Alexander. Jason starts hitting him. So Jason collects crowbars. He has a crowbar. It's like an episode of Pimp My Crib. It's like Pimp My Garage, and you go in there, and then it's just all his crowbars. Yeah, it's because it's really short for Alexandrovich, so it's the short form of a Russian name. So my name is it's a Russian name, or it's like modeled off of the Russian name. I gotta catch up. Let me see. Okay, who's your favorite legacy character? I want to know. Tell me all the things while I try and suck as much liquid as I can out of this bubble tea. Which Spider Girl though? There's more than one. You need to tell me. Which Miss Marvel? The new one? There are lots of people. Custom painted crowbars for the win. I love Cassandra. I did it again. Yeah, Alexandra, Cassandra. See, if my name was Cassandra, I would say it Cassandra, not Cassandra. But I call other people Cassandra. Cool. So, but if people called me Cassandra, I wouldn't mind. Probably just call myself Cassie to just. Oh. Which Wally? Wally or Wallace? Yeah, I really like Kamala too. I do. Pre-reboot Wally. I know. I love that their solution to that was just like, okay, so he's Wally and he's Wallace. Deal with it. Miles is great, and Miles is a great legacy character. I love how they handled him becoming Spider-Man, and even how they call him out in the costume and are like, "Hey," And he's like, okay, that might be a little disrespect. It's like the whole thing is so well handled. I love Miles. Donna, she's infected and I'm scared. I read the first issue of that and it was okay. And I read the second issue of that and it was also okay. Ooh, Connell, 90s Superboy. Who they've made 90s Superboy again, rocking his jacket and his half little tiny glasses and his shaved sides, just everything. 90s Con was more, shots fired at 2000s Connor Kent and his black t-shirt. Oh, he deserves it. Whoa, that was a lot. That was a lot of all caps. I felt it. I felt it in my heart. No, I didn't see that cover, but I did see an article today that said, introducing the Birds of Prey, learn all you need to learn about Harley's new team. They also, in their relaunch of the Birds of Prey that they're doing right now, they've stopped it and they're going to relaunch it as Black Label, and they've added Harley to the team. And the first issue was all like, but what is Harley doing here? Because now she's going to be an integral member, because they want to do horizontal marketing, because they're hoping that people who watch the movie will come over to the comics, even though traditionally and historically that's not really the case as to what happens. It's more that comic fans are interested in seeing their favorite characters adapted, and that there's a base knowledge culturally because of the lore element to the comic book mythos that draws in other people outside of it, but it doesn't necessarily make those same people turn around and get invested in a whole other medium of entertainment. And the amount of transfer you get, it doesn't always come from the places you expect, like how like the Old Man Logan storyline retrended because of Logan, and they didn't necessarily do that on purpose. But I find that whenever they try to do it on purpose, they it doesn't always work, and sometimes it's really like like, get it in there, make sure they look how they look in the movie, because we don't want a person who has never read one before to pick it up and be confused, because heaven forbid someone has to ask a question ever. Oh, Harley's solo series is doing whatever it wants to do. Also, I love that people are still arguing. They're like, she's a hero. I'm like, her Year of the Villain comic is literally her holding a pageant for who's the best supervillain. Heroic. Oh. They wanted to do a Gotham Sirens movie first, and I was really excited for that. And I thought that would be cool. And I feel like it would fit more with the madcap adventure style. Also, if Ewan McGregor never puts that mask on, I'm gonna be real upset. I'm gonna be really, really upset. Let me see. It's a wise guy, not for this channel, for the other one, but I do now have super chats and stuff enabled, so hooray, yay. I liked Gotham City Sirens a lot as a series. It's one of the ones I was really sad was canceled when they did the reboot of the New 52. Same with Secret Six, because that had to stop too. There were a couple of really good comics. I love the dynamics in Gotham City Sirens so much. At least he's having fun. He does look like he's having a great time. And that's always fun to watch. And Margot Robbie is a fantastic Harley, but there was only one line in the trailer where I felt that she was in character. I know you can portray characters many different ways, but there was one line in the trailer was like, yeah, that gets it. And the rest of it I felt was very like trying to be madcap crazy. And then I saw an article that was like, this is completely different from Suicide Squad. I'm like, this is marketed the exact same way. What are you talking about? Only they were using less hip songs. Oh. I'm not reading it yet. I need to, but I made the life choice to read that other Joker Harley comic instead. McReese, know what's really funny? At my work on when we have Slack, someone was like, "Oh, perfect. I have someone was like, I'm so excited." And they're like, "Oh, I have a picture for if you write an article about it for a review." And he just sent a picture of a dumpster on fire. It was so good. Oh. Yeah, I don't get that either. I don't know why they're saying that it's like this is revolutionary. It's completely different. I'm like, this looks like the same movie, only with different people in it, except for Harley. Of course, I remember Once Upon a Time. How could I forget one of my favorite terrible shows? It didn't start terrible, but man, was it a hot mess by the end. I know, Christina, that's me too. I'm like, either way, I'm gonna be there. I am the problem because I'm gonna give them my money. So that's exactly what's gonna happen. Yeah, I don't. Okay, you always need to see something before you form an opinion. But based on the trailer, I am not fond of what appears to be the direction of Cassandra's characterization. There we go. I said it. I properly. And also I said Cassandra instead of Cassandra. Like, but I will be there because you never know, because a trailer can straight up lie to you. And sometimes that's a tactic. So we will see. So I heard rumors that they wanted to make Black Mask's boyfriend Zaz. And I was like, Zaz? Zaz needs to stay away from all people. I enjoy Zaz as a character, but he needs to not be dating anybody. Oh. He needs to stay where he can't cut people or himself. So I'm worried that they're all going to be helpless aside from Harley Quinn. Like they're all going to be like, my life is just falling apart and I don't know how to do anything. Thank God I met Harley Quinn, the Messiah. Processing. Processing, Jay. Are there any characters you want to see in James Gunn's Suicide Squad? How about an accurate Deadshot? Ooh, shots fired, but not by Deadshot. Am I right? Oh God. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop. Also, Deadshot actually in love with Rick Flag like he is. That would be great. So would have loved that, but no, we didn't get to have that. Because Rick Flag was a cardboard cutout in that movie too. I know. What are we? Some sort of Suicide Squad? Oh. Deadshot's very obsessed with Rick, and you can definitely, in my opinion, read into. I feel like there's some coding there. I feel like there's a lot of coding there. There's also like stuff with him and Bruce, but that's more like because his brother died and he's all like, Batman is like my brother and I have this thing. And that's why, because like whenever, or it was a thing, I don't know if it's canon anymore. Whenever he used to shoot at Batman, he would pull his shots subconsciously to miss. So like that was an interesting thing. Didn't deal with that either. The fact that Deadshot's actually suicidal and it plays into missions. Oh, Deadshot X Catman forever. But like it plays into missions, and sometimes he will take the missions that will most likely get him killed or throw himself into peril because he doesn't care. Like that time that Kyle shot him through the throat because of it. And then Kyle was like, oh my God. And then, you know, then he got shot. So yeah, a Deadshot not there for the paycheck. And like, okay, so Catman and Deadshot, there's a lot of like stuff there. He made him eggs. But then he's like dedicatedly obsessed to Rick. And actually, if you look into it, which I did because I'm that person, there was going to be a scene where they dealt with it, but it got cut, I guess, so that we could have more exciting solo Will Smith punching a punching bag scene. I'm so salty. I'm so salty. I actually genuinely don't hate that movie, but there's so many choices that were made that are just like, oh, why? Who was the test audience for this? I need to know. Sometimes, you ever watch something and you're like, who tested this? Who were the people? I need names. I need names and emails so I can ask them some very serious questions. Oh. They were, but then they revealed it after anyway. It's too late for Deadshot. Yeah, I know, right? Who is responsible for this? Oh, the joke. Yeah, I'm gonna get my girl. Oh. I didn't fully hate that, but the way it was executed was so like, we want him to be in this movie, but don't know how. Oh, well, the thing is that why people I think say Barry is Wally is because they just keep giving Barry Wally's plots so many times. There's like, oh yeah, because lots of Barry's older plots don't translate. So they're like, okay, well, let's give him Wally's plots. Wally's plots were more recent and people really liked them, so just give them to him. It's fine. Yeah, I'd say Barry is more mature than Wally. That's fair, for sure. Yeah, Barry's a stand-up person. Where I'm like, yeah, Barry, I saw him last week. He's a nice guy. Yeah, Wally matured a lot in his solo series. When he, especially after he had his kids, then he matured a lot. Batman versus Superman. I've seen that movie so many times. I have a problem. It's not a high bar. Okay. I still stand by Barry should have stayed dead, and I like Barry. You can like a character and feel that narratively a story would be stronger if they didn't exist. That sounds so harsh, but it's true. I like Barry, but I feel like he had been effectively replaced and he had died heroically. And yes, I know they said that they always left a loophole for him to come back, but I'm like, it was acknowledged that he had died tragically, but heroically. And Wally had more than filled his shoes and had been accepted. And of course, if you grew up with Barry, you missed him, of course. But Wally was, in my opinion, a very embraced Flash. And I didn't see the need to bring him back in the same way they brought back Hal. And I know because I don't really feel like they needed to bring back Hal either, but I feel like what they did with him since they brought him back justifies that resurrection. And also the way that he died was pretty character assassinating y, in my opinion, because Hal always suffered a lot from, oh God, what do we do with him syndrome? Like always for so many years. And so that was just kind of like the culmination of that when it was like, well, what if he just went insane? So, which is always, that it's all gone wrong when you're at the table and it's gone down to what if he just went insane? Yeah. Nacha, I totally agree. Like they do this thing with Batman sometimes. They did it with Batman Confidential and Gotham Knights, I believe it was called, where they would tell stories that took place earlier in Batman's career than the current continuity. So like that's cool. That's a cool way to tell stories with characters at a time period or characters who aren't around anymore and still have your main continuity. Like you can run both Because, for example, like Barry is a good example of that. Like if you are attached to Barry, there would be an audience of people who would want to read Barry Allen stories. So I feel like you could test the waters with like a mini or something and then see if people are interested. Who is Hal Jordan's best friend? The comics vacillate. Lots of them will try and tell you it's Green Arrow, but like realistically it's the Flash. And I think more recently they've acknowledged it's the Flash, but there was a period where they were trying to be like, it's Green Arrow, even though he yells at him and hates everything about him. I feel the same way about Batgirl too, Barbara. I feel like they've regressed her a lot. A lot of characters end up getting regressed though. Like it's totally normal. Sadly. That's why I'm actually really liking the new Fantastic Four run, because they're acknowledging that the family is aging, but without telling you, like DC is going to, that they're this age and you need to accept that. Otherwise, people will yell at you on Twitter probably. but like they're just acknowledging that they're just older and we can all just kind of quietly accept that and be like, yeah, they are older and their kids are teens now because they've been like 8 and whatever for decades. So yeah, it's fine that they aged and they're getting older and we can tell stories about how that's affecting them without having to yell at everybody, Reed is 46. Like, you don't need to do that. 5G fills me with so much anger. But yeah, their new comic is really cool, and partially because they're allowing them to change and grow and not regressing them. As time goes by, it's okay. Writers with clear issues with their own mortality. Yeah, like right now they have a new Oracle in the comics because they're like, oh, people missed Oracle. And like, no, people didn't miss Oracle. They missed Babs as Oracle because of what that meant for her character. And I'm going to say it, development. You can feel how you want to feel about how she got there. But I think what they did with her once she was there was amazing. Yeah, Batgirl is a teenager again. Like all the selfie covers and all this stuff. And like, I'm not saying that because I'm old. I'm like, I can't relate to these young kids, like Gwenpool said, with like, oh, older people can't relate. It's like, no, it's like when you take a character who had really advanced and then take them back and show them doing all of these behaviors that in no way would have jived with who they were before, it's natural for some people to have a disconnect. It's natural for me to not really care how many nights Batgirl's gonna go out clubbing with her friends. Like, it's fine. I don't want that. It's the same. You know who's really bad for that too? Spider-Man. Spider-Man gets to a point and then they're like, he's got too much of his stuff together. No one can relate. He needs to be sleeping on Mockingbird's couch. Oh, when he was sleeping on Mockingbird's couch. Oh my goodness. That was just, and I was just like, why is Peter so much of a mess? Like, Peter always had problems. I'm like, why is he just like such a hot mess? Like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I only just realized I said it all the time because my daughter started saying it. She started picking up things and going, oh my goodness. And I was like, who says that? Nobody says that. And then I just said it. Like, nobody says that. Yeah, she can talk a little bit. She's 2.5 now. Yeah, she's running around. Oh my goodness. She she loves she has characters that she already really likes and other ones that she doesn't. She used to be scared of Killer Croc, but then I told her that he was just a big crocodile, and now she really likes him and calls him Big Crocodile whenever she sees him. It's like, Big Crocodile. But she saw Clayface once and that was like, it was over. Like, she's terrified. She can't deal with that at all. And I understand because Clayface is very scary. I was watching a Batman animated series episode and like, no like it. Yeah, that's what she said. No like it. Scary. So no more Clayface for me, except for after dark. Late night Clayface only. Because he's too scary. Which is fair. He is really scary. I was going to do a confusing untold history of Clayface, but there are 8. And I was just like, so do I do the first one? Do I talk about all 8? Just I guess maybe just one and then keep going, even though my favorite Clayface is an amalgam of the two, like a couple that they did for the animated series where they called him Matt Hagen, but then he had like part of Basil Carlo's backstory, and then like, yeah, but his powers were permanent, and it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. I do. And then Batwoman killed him. I'm so curious about how these Disney Plus Marvel shows are gonna go, because like they keep saying they're gonna give them like the super high production value, and I'm like, we'll see. Like, I'm curious. Oh, the Batman's Clayface is cool too. I liked that. Like, I didn't love how he got his powers in that, but I really liked the whole. I love it when they're Bruce's friends. I love his life being tragic. Claybat. Okay. One last thing about Batman. We talked about him too much, I know. I love when he's allowed to care about the villains that he faces, but not in like a codependent, creepy way, and just like, I really hope that they would get better way, because that would be nice. Like when he was helping the Riddler, when the Riddler reformed, which is one of my favorite arcs of all time. Yes, compassionate. Compassion. Yeah, like in BTAS, like the episode when he learns they're being abused in Arkham, and like he's really upset and sad about it. I know, that's so sweet. The friendship of him and Harvey is them that's like, yeah, he'll probably, and he's not getting better, but it's okay. Oh, I haven't read any of the latest Daredevil. I've heard both good and bad things, so I'm gonna check it out. I like the Daredevil a lot, so I think his comics are really cool. Ooh, he's so cool. I just regressed. I can be a comic book character too. I just turned into like a 10-year-old girl. He's so cool. No, Peter is only allowed to be a broke teen. I'm so stoked for Moon Knight's TV series. What I'm not stoked is for the articles who were like, meet Marvel's Batman. And I'm like, that's not accurate. It never has been. That's just a lazy comparison. Please stop. So, yeah, it's not true. It's not. Feel like I'm going full Star Wars. That's not true. That's impossible. Oh, it's not though. Like they're really different. And they've always been different. What force twists? I like twists, even terrible ones. Oh, Cypress. Yes, I have. Um, I hate it. um, there were lots of things about that movie. I thought it looked beautiful, and I would watch it again for that reason. But I think it suffered from trying to fit everything into the new kind of movie continuity that they've established. So they had characters there that shouldn't have been or didn't need to be. And then they did, okay. The thing about that twist is I like the Riddler a lot, and I don't have any problem with the idea of a mastermind Riddler plot. But the biggest problem with it for me is that then there's no purpose to Thomas Elliot as a character, really. Like, he's just literally like a plot, like, device. You want to talk about fridging? Like, Thomas Elliot and Hush. Like, there's no point. Like, I'm your friend, and I showed up, and then I died. Thank you, next. Like, there is no what? Like, why? It was so and they took out the Jason thing. So I'm like, okay. And then the whole Catwoman, the conflict between him and Catwoman at the end was so contrived. It was just like, yeah, our relationship is so good. I want to go on a vacation. And he's like, no, like, I need to fight crime in my city. What? You're not gonna kill for me and change for me? This is never going to work. I actually liked that he tried to save him at the end there. I really did. And then she was like, "Oh, well, we're gonna you won't kill for me. I changed for you." And I'm like, not killing people was a good change, but okay. Like, I changed for you, but you're not willing to kill for me. It's just like, whoa, like, calm down. And then like the whole like the Riddler thing. What I like about the comic book is that he just figures it out on his own, and he knows it, and it's a riddle that he knows the answer to that he can never tell, because then it ruined it. It ruins it, right? Oh, she's ready to kill so much in that movie. She's straight up ready to kill. I mean, she's killed before, but it's been a while. But like, she's just ready. She's waiting. Like, she nearly killed Lois in that movie. Uh, yeah, like, yeah, the Damien thing bothered me. I liked Nightwing in it. Like, there were some parts I did like. I don't know why they're trying to make the Riddler a god tier villain right now. It's weird and always makes me worry whenever they do that with something, because I'm like, oh gosh, is this gonna be something that turns out really poorly? Because I'm always scared. Like, they've been writing articles about it too since the Riddler Year of the Villain comic came out. And okay, so at the end of his comic, he quit. And people are like, that's because he's about to become god tier. And I'm like, I would actually really love it if he just quit. Like, that would be amazing. But they're like, no, we're about to see I don't know what word I'm looking for. I'm just like an adjective. First word that came to mind was sexy, and I'm like, no, that's not the right word. They're gonna go back to the guy liner and the neck tattoo, like the most menacing. There we go. We've ever seen. But anyway, it's super late here. But so thank you so much for tuning in and celebrating with me. I really appreciate it. We'll do it again. I'll get my Gwenpool essay to you at some point whenever I can. And thank you so much for all of your support and for making all of this possible. I always appreciate all of you. So I will see you again soon. Bye.